Good day, everyone. We're about to start the live meeting, so just going through some settings to make sure everything is okay before we can start. Okay, I think we're ready to go. I know this has been freaking travel of reading every time, and it's something we probably know about, but we're doing this not just for you to see, but also for the new people who come to it and have questions and the things they do not understand. With this live meeting, we're being able to reach a lot of people because of the YouTube algorithm. So not just the people in Telegram, but people using YouTube in general. So they get to see this video as a suggestion. So that's why we do this frequently. And also we'll try to work on the file to probably renew it because there's some changes that has been done in this Benet project. One of the Benedash project has been released, although not fully but partially, and it's functional already. It's really functional. I got a notification recently, so that's a good news. But we have to, how do I say, this file we have to like restructure it so as to give us the important information on the updated things on the Bennett project. But that aside, we'll go through this project, this file again, giving you the explanation of the Bennett project, how it came about, the history, or the situations that actually inspired it. It's going to be talking about types of money, like money which the world is using and how cryptocurrency will help the world increase its economy, and also it's going to make us understand the things that usually happen before an economic crisis happens in a country, things that usually occurs and why the country is instabilized economically speaking. And also we're also going to be knowing the main aim this Bennett project is going to give to the world, the main benediction, the main profit and advantage the world is going to get from this Bennett project. So let's go on. Now, second page, talking about a bit of history. I hope this can be seen. Okay, read. During the reign of Constantine the Great, the Roman Empire was in a deep economic crisis. Constantine the Great solved the problem of the economic crisis by carrying out a set of measures. A set of measures to reform the monetary system of the Roman Empire and introducing a new currency, which is the solid. So basically, the solid was the currency which Constantine introduced due to a situation that was happening in Rome at that time. What was the situation? There was an economic crisis. So Constantine introduced the new monetary system, and we have the new monetary system. The solid, which is the name of the currency, or some call it the gold solid because it's also gold. So this solid was able to solve the problems of Rome or Constantinople at that time. So okay, let's go on. The essence of the solid was related to its high quality and constant and changeable weight, which made it possible to exchange these coins for any other, as well as non-ferrous metals, primarily gold. So basically, this coin had some abilities, and it was easily exchangeable with other currencies. To read them on. In today's understanding, solid acted as a kind of gold standard. What are gold standard? Gold standard, just simply as the word goes, is like a standard laid down for something. So basically, the solid was able to act as a gold standard, was able to act as a solid coin, as a currency which other currencies could depend on. Okay, the name solid comes from the Latin word solidus, which means solid, durable, and massive. It was the strength of the solid that was a result of the fact that the solid was the main monetary unit of Rome and later Byzantium for 700 years. Due to the high standard which remained almost unchanged until the fall of Constantinople, solid had a significant impact on the minting of gold coins in neighboring countries. So not just Rome practiced the new monetary system, which is the solid. Other countries actually, other countries practiced and adopted this new form of monetary system at that time. We're going to be talking briefly about cryptocurrencies. Today, although gold has a certain value, but from the point of view of modern economic theory, it's only an additional tool that ensures the stability of the economy. The reforms of Constantine the Great are a kind of prototype for the creation of modern cryptocurrencies. So basically, it's saying cryptocurrencies have a lot of similarities, like the solid during Constantine's time. So there's a lot of similarities between the cryptocurrency and the gold solid, because of the factors and the abilities it carries with it. You know that the solid was durable and solid, and it was able to maintain its price and features. So that's basically how the cryptocurrencies compared it. One of the main differences, like I always say, is the fact that one of them was visual, like you could literally see it, and the other one is virtual, like it's on the internet, it's on the blockchain space. It's not something you can literally touch, but you can actually use it for transactions. So that's the main difference. There are other differences having to do with how it controls the economy and the speed at which it changes things, but that's a different one. But speaking about the obvious ones, the obvious reasons, it's basically talking about the ones you can feel and the one you can't feel. Okay, on the World Economic Forum in 2016 or 2016, the complete displacement of paper money by cryptocurrencies was predicted. Many researchers note that this process is in some way irreversible. Cryptocurrency is strong because it does not depend much on the global economy. So basically, in the year 2016, there was a research taken out by people in charge of the research. They were able to discover that in future, which right now in 2022, so that's years after 2016, and they were able to discover that in future, the use of the paper money, the traditional paper money, which literally the entire world is using, although we're adopting in the cryptocurrency space, but we're using this for like years. We all have our currencies with different designs and names and things written on it. Those are our prior money. Those are our currencies. So basically, saying in the future, this paper money, this traditional paper money, which everyone has been using for years, will become displaced. And the word says complete displacement. And the next part says many researchers know that this process is in some way irreversible. So basically, this process will be we can't actually go back to paper money, because paper money comes with a lot of disadvantages. Although it actually has advantages, because if you didn't have advantage, the world would not have adopted it. But the fact that there's a cryptocurrency space which is advantageous than the paper money monetary system, that would be a lot of proof, and that would be a reason why people will migrate to the new monetary system and make paper money less used. So basically, it's already happening. There are a lot of reasons, like the paper money. I usually give the example of transportation. Like for instance, let's say there's a business between a transaction between two big companies, like, or let's say a person that's really rich and a company, and they would want to have a transaction with each other, for instance. But let's use this from a very popular one. Someone wants to buy a car, and we know how expensive cars can be. And let's say the car is about 2 million. 2 million. Let me use a popular currency, $2 million, for instance. It would be in this current generation, it would be less reasonable to actually put the money in a suitcase and like when you see them in movies and take them to the place and for payment. But with the help of the cryptocurrency market, everything can literally be done by just scanning. As you can see, the digital marketing, what happens? All you just have to do is tap your card on a particular, like a POS machine, and automatically you've made the payment. All you just have to do is take your check, and it's totally safe like that, since the company is registered and it's kept under security. So basically, that process of just doing that instead of you bringing the money. First, consider the factor of security and actually bringing the money in. The company, whoever is in charge, counts the money with a particular machine, and that's taking time and to make sure the money are not fake or something. A lot of things that has to come in factors, like factors that are going to affect it. When we look at the cryptocurrency space, we can just realize that this one is faster, this is easier, this is cheaper. You just have to have his data connection and the amount you want to pay, and no charges applied. So the more people see the advantages that cryptocurrency brings with it, the less the paper money will be used. So I hope I explained that well. Okay. Moving forward, cryptocurrency cannot be stolen, devalued, or denominated by a state decree. The modern cryptocurrency is in some way a solid that meets modern economic requirements. So cryptocurrency is independent, not totally, because it's the word over here says it does not depend much. So basically there's a percentage of the cryptocurrency that actually depend on the economy of countries worldwide. Yes, it has to depend because it's actually in planet Earth. If it's actually something external like extraterrestrial, so basically it's out of it. So basically if it's from Earth, it's gonna depend on Earth, it's gonna depend on the weather and everything on how Earth moves, the flow of Earth. So basically, there's a percentage that depends on Earth. The other bigger percentages depend solely on the blockchain. So obviously, also understood, but it can be hard to take in. Okay. Now, the features of cryptocurrency. Future of cryptocurrencies. Now, this is basically going to talk about one of the things that caused the recent economic breakdown since the year 2019. Okay, it says here, the modern world is facing an unprecedented level of unpredictability crisis related to coronavirus infection, which continues to this day. The pandemic may end, but the world community must inevitably solve the problems associated with the restoration of global financial system. What this is saying basically, if we were to interpret it from another part or another thing, we're able to understand that with the presence of the coronavirus about 2 to 3 years back, we're able to see that the economy faced a lot of unpredictable crises that no one actually predicted. The crisis actually shook the economy, and not just the economy, there are other aspects that the crisis actually shook both. Since we're talking financially speaking, so we're going to be speaking more about the monetary aspect. So basically all over the world, we discovered prices of commodities and goods and services increased like skyrocketed like so fast because of the presence of the COVID-19, which they are not really to blame actually. It's just the flow of money or flow of finances at that time because of the presence of the COVID-19. So one thing that I want us to understand generally is usually there's always a bad event, there's always a disadvantageous event that happens before a country experiences economic breakdown or economic crisis. Like what happened during Constantine's time, it says there was a situation that actually led to the economic crisis, and he had to perform or prefer a solution. So basically, there's always something causing it, and from the beginning of human creation, we're able to understand that there are a lot of crises we must have faced, and it usually causes problems afterwards. So this place is basically saying we can't predict these things, but what do we do about the financial aspect when things like this occur? What do we do about them? Okay, now that brings us to the topic: future of cryptocurrency in the future. One of the solutions to such problems is the development of the cryptocurrency market and the widespread introduction of the ability to pay with it in a variety of countries, both in cash or digital money. States cannot take such a step, otherwise they will become disconnected from the world economy. So this is very simple. Simply saying, the world in general should adopt a new form of payment. This is the digital money, the cryptocurrency market, and literally stop using the traditional paper money or transactions of different currencies end to end, but introducing the digital system. Everyone should start using the digital system. And it says the country will be disconnected from the world economy. This is not something that is done manually. It's an automatic process. The moment you discover that everyone is using a simpler means, what happens? Everyone should adopt to that means and understand it and be able to utilize it for their own good. But if a situation where someone's actually not using it and is actually using an old method, what happens? The other country tries to disassociate. The reason is for a lot of reasons, like smooth reasons. So let's say have to do with the speed or have to do with transaction durability. So because of all these factors, a country or a state in general can automatically be disconnected from the world economy. So to avoid this, the world should adopt this new form of money payment, which is known as the digital money or the cryptocurrency market. Okay, that's one way to solve the economic problems. Okay, if we read on, we'll be able to discover more. Okay, if we analyze the history of Solid, we can say that this coin has long been the main one, not only in Europe, but also in Asia. And its importance in many ways predetermined the development of financial systems, not only in Rome, but also in other countries. I explained before that Rome wasn't the only country using the solid or the gold solid at that time. Other countries also adopted this. The main idea in this case is to increase reinforcement and confidence in a particular currency. It is a cryptocurrency that acts as an innovative tool that can not only stop inflation, but also provide an unprecedented increase in cost. Now, talking about the paper money, how it came about. This brings us a topic about fiat money. The modern financial system is a model of relationships based on trust. The history of modern fire began in 1347 in Florence. It was the year of the outbreak of the Black Plague. Note here, there's also an unpredicted crisis which actually happened, which is the Black Plague, like we had the coronavirus. So now this is the Black Plague, which happened in 1347. So what happened afterwards? Afterwards, really, this was the beginning of the economic crisis, to get out of which people had to reform the monetary system and create a new type of money, which is the fiat money, from the Latin word proclamation and permission. So as the word goes, proclamation and permission is the ability for an individual which issues the money out to everyone in the country. That individual has the ability to control the amount of money that is printed or that is issued in the country. So that's basically the fiat money concept. Okay, this fiat money was introduced due to the presence of an economic crisis which was caused by the Black Plague. The presence of the Black Plague, and as I was explaining, there's usually a disadvantageous event, then financial crisis, then a solution intended for it. And this fiat money was literally adopted almost all over the world, because I haven't seen any country that doesn't have a paper money or a coin. And this has been moving for generations and generations on and on. And we are able to see that even with the presence of some economic crisis, this fiat money is still taking us to some places, but it's not going to solve a lot of problems. That's why we have to keep the crisis space. So let's read on. We can understand the concept as which this is speaking. It was during the years of the terrible epidemic that society agreed with the proclamation of the status of paper money as the means of payment. The production of paper claims has turned into a business whose name is seniorage. So this fiat money concept in business is now a different business whose name is seniorage. And now what's seniorage? Seniorage is the income received by the issue of money on the right of ownership. You can say business. How is it a business? It's not just the person in the office, or in the office. I don't mean literally, like is in a position whereby he is able to, or she is able to give an order or a proclamation of how much of a particular currency is printed in the country. So why is it a business? Because a business you have to make profit and loss, things like that. So this is the definition. Seniorage is the income received by the issuer of money on the right of ownership. So there's an income this person issuing the money is taking. There's an income he or she is getting. I'm saying he because it's usually the he. So there's an income that the person is getting for actually issuing money on the right of ownership. So that's basically the concept of the seniorage business. So let's read and understand. The seniorage business consisted of minting coins from the customer's materials, whereas payment for the work performed, the senior kept part of the material for himself. Centuries later, the spiral of history is making a new turn, and once again, the world is facing an epidemic that has caused a global crisis of confidence in the established institutions of power and financial institutions over the centuries. A minute. Okay. Good. What is embedded? This bringing us to the topic, what is Bennett after talking about the cryptocurrency space. So now we're going to be understanding what is Bennett and all the features, all the abilities it has, and the limit ones on the society in general. When it comes to economics, it is necessary to turn to the experience of our ancestors without repeating their mistakes and taking as a basis the best that our predecessors had. It is for this reason that we want to remember the legacy of Constantine the Great and present the Bennett project. Bennett, abbreviated from the word benediction, is a project to revive in the virtual space the equivalent of the gold solid, which has become a prototype of modern reserve currencies used worldwide as a benchmark for the value of fiat money. So basically, Bennett is simply means as word goes, benedictions are created from the word benediction. And benediction simply means like a conclusion, speaking like someone giving a sermon, or having to do with a farewell. There's a word for it. I can't really mention it. It's like something you give to someone, like someone going on a very long journey, and you give them a farewell word. So some sentences you put together as farewell, that's like benediction. Benediction can also mean benefits. It can also mean advantages. It can mean profits. It can mean whatever you gain from a particular scenario or situation in general. Okay, reading on. Bennett is a peer-to-peer network with its Bennett is a peer-to-peer network with its own blockchain, and blockchain is used to store data, the format of which allows you to securely store recorded information about an event created in a cryptographic application. The blockchain is, as the word goes, blockchain. There are blocks that has the ability to perform certain functions, and all these blocks are connected to each other. So basically, the connection is what is called the chain, so blockchain. Bennett is a centralized cryptocurrency with an environmentally friendly mining method for each owner. The consensus of the decentralized network and the integrity of the blockchain are achieved thanks to advanced developments. Okay, now a little bit about the blockchain. I just explained what the blockchain basically is. So this is going to give you a very professional definition of the blockchain in general, and also of Bennett blockchain also. Okay, reading on a little bit about blockchain. As with other cryptocurrencies, the Bennett database is built and stored. Okay, go again. As with other cryptocurrencies, the Bennett database is built and stored in a linked series of blocks known as the blockchain. The advanced algorithm, proof-of-timestake, and impeccable implementation of the age of coin concept is resistant to all possible attacks on the blockchain in order to falsify transactions and generate new coins. In the proof-of-timestake model used by Bennett, network security is regulated by nodes that have a share of coins in the network. The Bennett network has remained decentralized since its inception, and as the number of users grows, it becomes more and more decentralized. Bennett uses an eco-friendly mining system in which each coin is a virtual mining farm with a differentiated generation rate depending on whether the account provides generation of new blocks in the blockchain chain or not. Bennett network nodes do not issue coins as a result of creating blocks, but only determine the rate of generation of new coins for accounts involved in maintaining the operation of the decentralized network, for which they receive commissions for transactions recorded in the blocks they created. A Bennett network node is any device that contributes a transaction or block data to the network. Any device with a Bennett software is treated as a node. Okay, moving on. Okay, after this page, I will take some time to check the comment section, see if there's any request by anyone, probably a great thing. Okay, now how does it work? Speaking about mining of coins, what does mining simply mean in this concept? It's the ability for your wallet in Bennett to generate new coins, like topping up your coins at a particular percentage. So there's a percentage rate at which they move. So not everyone's account is moving at a particular speed. There's a concept behind the speed and the rate at which a particular account generates new coin or mines coins. So now we're going to be talking about mining of coins. The two types of coin mining in Bennett, which is the soft mining and the hard mining. Okay. Eco-friendly mining of Bennett is performed in two states, which is the soft mining and the hard mining. Soft mining is a software method for generating new coins with an account balance available to each coin holder using a private access key. So right in this case, like a password of an account. So basically, you have to keep that safe for the safety of your wallet. And also, it's a software method, as I explained. It's a part you can touch. It's on the Bennett software, and this particular part develops. This software method is simply generating coins at a particular amount. If you have some Bennett coins in a particular range, like let's say, I think from one Bennett coin to about 100, you'll be mining at a particular percentage. So basically, the higher you increase in numbers of coins, the higher your percentage increases. So if you're increasing in coins numbers and you're increasing by hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, you'll be increasing the rate, so it's becoming faster. So that will understand the table as we read them. But explaining soft money, explain that now the hard money. The hard money is a software and hardware method of mining coins using specialized equipment that stores an up-to-date copy of the blockchain and is synchronized with the general network to participate in the generation of new blocks. So basically, there's a software method which has been explained, like it happens on the software of the Bennett. Now the hardware has to do with a machine that literally has the ability to keep a copy of the up-to-date portion of the blockchain and synchronize it with the general network, as it says here, and it helps with the generation of new blocks. As the word goes, blocks are generated for different purposes, especially in this financial aspect. Helping you keeping information for Bennett software is helping you performing the task of a natural wallet and keeping it safe. So basically, this is the hard money and the soft money definition. So we do the other part. Bennett eco-friendly mining is a perfect patented protected tool for promotion and popularization, allowing you to establish links with blockchain fixation according to the principle of multi-level marketing. It was created on the basis of time-tested technologies in the businesses, developing on the basis of network structures, and other cryptocurrencies. The main advantage of Bennett eco-friendly mining is reliable protection against interference in the mining mechanism and its absolute transparency. So basically, every single thing that's the main advantage of this Bennett eco-friendly mining is every single thing that happens in the wallet, it's explainable. Even if you're not someone who is very good at technical information, it's something you can easily understand because the interface in the means at which it's displayed is very easy to understand. You can be able to understand that your coin was mined at this rate due to a particular reason. You had this amount, it was mined for this reason, and in a day, this mined amount will be added to your coin, and your coin keeps generating. So basically, something that's easily understood. That's what it means by its absolute transparency, absolutely transparent. Okay, now over here it says all users can track the number of coins mined in real time. So whatever changes happens in your wallet, whatever changes happen in your coin, there's always an explanation to it. Even in all users, it says so. Basically, it has been made in a way that it's going to be very explainable. Like without anyone's help, you can easily understand why your coin was at this amount, why all of a sudden it has increased or probably decreased. There's a reason for decreasing. We'll see that in the future. So there's always a reason for that. You can be able to understand the reasons behind all these events in your wallet. Okay, now, okay, sorry, I was gonna check comment section. We continue now. Okay, how this can also be seen. By the way, if there's any problem with the comment on sorry about the video, please, it's very important if you can say. so we can create it. Okay, what is it for? What is the mining? What is it all for? Like about like what's the importance of this? So now we're going to understand the concept of mining coins and actually using them for something, not just the traditional form of actually buying coins and waiting for them to increase. In actually exchanging them for another coin for profit making. So now we're going to be understanding this. Okay, let's go. What is it for? We understand the importance of decentralized database, which are usually called blockchain, and we had an idea. We try to combine the reliability and security of the classic cryptocurrency, as well as the advantages of hash functions, the use of which is in demand in various phases of human life, for which we created the Bennett Hash crypto application. So basically, this concept was actually gotten from the cryptocurrency environment, the ability to keep information, which is the hash function, spelled HASH, and it has been implemented in the Bennett platform, which is known as the Bennett Hash. Okay, now Bennett Hash is a decentralized platform for storing important or interesting events taking place in people's lives. Bennett Hash is a native application that allows you to sign any event, incident state with accurate time recording and hashtag of the event. All events are stored in a cryptographically protected blockchain database running in a peer-to-peer networking Java environment. Bennett coins are used as fuel to upload Bennett Hash files to the blockchain. We have implemented an environmentally friendly way of mining coins and burning coins efficiently. To upload files, use the bonds coins in the proportion of 10 Bennett coins for 1 KB of information recorded in a block limited to 20. So this is a very long test, but I'll just give you an explanation. Basically, the main information you're supposed to know as a user or as anybody. Over here, it says Bennett coins are used. Bennett coins are used as for uploading files to the Bennett Hash platform. So basically, the platform is the blockchain. The platform is a Bennett blockchain, and for you to put any file there, you have to convert the file to Bennett Hash. So basically, it's like if you're very familiar with computer stuff, especially like the files, you know that there's usually this, for instance, with documents, usually something called PDFs or docs or Excel. Let's say you want to put this file, you want to send it to someone or open it in a particular platform. You have to convert this file. It's usually to PDF because PDF is generally used as portable, as the acronym goes. So it's usually a conversion of this file to PDF so that it can be viewed on different software. So that's basically what it is. For you to be able to put any information at all on this blockchain or Bennett, you have to convert this file to Bennett Hash. And how do you do it? It says you use Bennett coins as fuel. So basically, for it to work, for this machine of Bennett Hash to work, you have to use the Bennett coins as a means to charge this machine and make it work and activate it like fuel on the vehicle. So I've just understood. So now explain this part. It says that to upload files, the user bonds coins in the proportion of 10 Bennett coin or 1 KB of information recorded in a block limited to 2 MB. So basically, there are blocks everywhere. Can even give you this explanation I usually give. There's a warehouse. This warehouse, the name of this warehouse is the Bennett Hash, and in this warehouse there are blocks everywhere. All these blocks, they have the maximum of containing a maximum of 2 MB of information, and no one owns this block. Literally, there's no name attached to it except you bought the space in it. So how does this work? These blocks, they are all the same sizes. There are a lot of them, but they are the same sizes, and they can contain only a maximum of 2 MB of information. And let's say, for instance, you want to keep some information, and altogether this information is about 2 MB. In other words, you need literally 1 block. So how do you do this? Now the conversion goes like this. We have KB as the smallest, which is the kilobyte, followed by the MB, which is the megabyte, which is the next one is the gigabyte, which is the GB, and I think the biggest is the terabyte, which is the TB, which that's less known. Although people know it, but it's less known because it has a lot of factors. If you're using it as an internet, you have to pay a lot for it. If you're using it for a PC, you have to pay a lot for the PC because it's really going to be expensive. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It actually exists. So basically, the smallest one is a KB. So what's the conversion? 1000 KB is equivalent to 1 MB. So now we need 2 MB. So basically we need 2000 KB, which will be equivalent to 2 KB. So now we have 2000 KB, and it says away that 10 Bennett is equal to 1 KB. So how do we do this multiplication? So we multiply 10 Bennett. So say 10 Bennett, or 10 times 2000. So now I'll give you a calculating answers for that. So 10 Bennett multiplied by 2000 KB, so that will give us 20,000 Bennett. So basically you're going to use 20,000 Bennett to be able to buy a space of 2 MB on that block. So automatically the moment you buy it, your information will bump and be uploaded to the Bennett dash file. So basically that's how it works. It sounds complex, but definitely there will be a mechanism for you to be able to know how much you're supposed to pay, because doing the calculations can really be stressful. Now, scope of application. If you're using the Bennett bot, right now I think there was a message on Telegram with the site for the Bennett 6. I think it's actually out right now. Probably not fully, but it really surprised me actually, because I usually see it says already in 2024. So I was just thinking probably 2 years from now actually, but it's really fast. And I can't really show you now because we're still in the middle of this. But if you're in the Bennett, if you get the Bennett bots, you can be able to receive this information. Or I think I sent the link. You can actually go to the link and go on Telegram and ask for the bot. Anyone can give you and when you get the bot, you can be able to receive all this information so frequently. Okay, now what's the Bennett Dash? Bennett Dash is the world's first public blockchain repository, the use of which is required in many areas of world economy. In our scope of application, already in 2024, we will release an application for free access, which we'll be able to use for notaries for duplicating registers with signatures of participants, highway administration for photographing accidents with instant uploading of incident photos to the blockchain, and lawyers for signing contracts with the possibility of publicly requesting data from the Bennett blockchain. Now, scope of application. In the near future, we have planned the release of 2 apps from the Bennett series. I think I'm the one that got this one. I think I'm the one that got this one because it says over here, this is talking about a different form of Bennett Dash, which is going to be released in 2024. But this one, it says in the near future. So basically, any moment from now, it's going to be released. So basically, I actually misunderstood. So now it's actually out. I'm opening this right now. Okay, I'll just try to open it and show you from here. So now it's actually out, the Bennett6.com. So I'll do that after reading this page. Okay, let's read this. In the near future, we have planned the release of 2 apps from the Bennett series, which is the sex.bennett.cc to protect against all accusations of harassment. And the second is auto.bennett for those who want to set speed record. Now I'll read what's in it. The Bennett Auto, the first crypto app to protect the rights of car owners, raisers, sellers, and buyers. Okay, how is it protecting me? It has insurance, it has record keeping policies like eraser covering a particular eraser, someone that have to do raises like sports, or someone just doing raising, or a car owner having to do with the repair of cars. Information about your car is going to protect all your rights about it. And also talking about Bennett 6, it's going to be a means at which 2 partners can come together and upload their events to the Bennett Dash, and being able to keep the information safe in case of allegations in future or harassment, or people bringing situations of harassment. I must have been very familiar with this issue, familiar with the news. You know that a lot of men face this harassment. Women also, but it's mostly men, as you know. So basically, they usually face harassment, and most times we don't know if the one bringing the allegations is actually saying the truth, or there's an interior motive, like it's usually false. And most times we all know it's usually false, and this is usually years after the man is serving in jail innocently, and the man has wasted most of his life in jail, and now everyone is discovering that it's actually a false allegation. And what happens to the woman? She's nowhere to be found. But with the help of the Bennett6.com or Bennett6 sex@bennett.cc, be able to save a lot of people from the event of accusations and harassment. So enough talking, and I'll show you how it is on the website. Okay, minute, I just open it. Okay. Sorry about the wallpaper. That's how it came. Okay, this is basically the site 6.bennett.cc. Just go there, it opens. Okay, it says Bennett 6 first crypto app of legal agreements to 6. Okay. This information is leave your contact, get Bennett coins for free, and be first to get inclusive access to the Bennett 6. Now, basically, you can actually put your information, your email, your Telegram, iOS or Android, or get now information about it. So, okay, the first crypto app to legal agreement to sex. The Bennett Ash app helps to formalize consent to sex with a partner. So this is before you have intercourse to sell your sexual union in the blockchain. With this blockchain consent, you will confirm that the sexual partner wishes are mutual. The app helps you to formalize consent to sexual intercourse, and in the case of allegations of harassment, to use it as evidence of innocence. I explained that before. Secure sex contact against the backdrop of a series of high-profile relationships related to trust to sexual harassment. The app has high global relevance. For example, it's within the rule that a man cannot. It's within the rule that a man can be persecuted if he has not received explicit content from his partner before sex. Okay, this is the interface. Okay, we have add events. My events trying to basically this add event where you can put the events. We know that Bennett is basically for keeping events, and my events like to see the events which you have kept there. And over here we have event explorer. Like if you have a lot of events, you want to search them, which of them, so you can just see event explorer to actually check them out. I don't think I'll cover everything here. There's a lot of time. But just run through it. How does it work? To add your intimate events to the Belly Dash blockchain, you need to complete the simple form. Enter full names of event participants. So basically, the two participants have to keep their name, the man and the woman. Upload your couple photo, select the event status public. You can keep it as public. It means that the detail of your event will be available to everyone. That's a choice. You can actually be like, why? But it's still your choice. Private, so the details of your event will be visible only to you. Okay. So basically, you can put your signatures. Next, you can put photos. Okay, it says almost uncheck if the data is filled correctly. It's impossible to delete data from the Bennett Dash blockchain. So basically, you have to check that all this information has been kept correctly. So if you do not do this, the information can be kept incorrect. So you have to check everything because it cannot be deleted for safety reasons, as we have been explaining. Okay, the Bennett Dash service fee is about 20,000 Bennett. And the rest has been basically things we've been talking about. So that was understood. So now moving on. So I hope that was a very good thought for you to be able to understand the Bennett Dash concept. Okay, now next, the word chronicle of events. Okay, now I read. But the most important application of our technology is something that is not yet close to the market, the word chronicle of events. This is a chronicle written by people who speak different languages, profess different religions, and live in different parts of the globe. After all, the most important thing is memory. The past is the beginning of the old present. The future is impossible without the past. With our application, you will have the opportunity to upload events important to your family to the data warehouse, be it photos, videos, or documents. And thus, in 100 to 200 years, your descendants will easily be able to learn everything about you, see what you wear, and therefore remember you always, in fact, give you immortality. After all, when a person is remembered, he is immortal. This is the beauty of the blockchain. Your events will not disappear anywhere because they are stored on a million devices around the world. This way, you definitely leave your mark on the word chronicle. With the help of Bennett Dash, the past, present, and future of you and your family has exists, and will always exist. Now, how to get the coins, or how to get the coins to download events. How to do this, you need to follow the link at capital letter or uppercase Bennett. No, sorry, at uppercase B. Then the main letters are lowercase. So Bennett BNED 1 not the number but the letter ONE and underscore bot. Then to get the coins, you and get coins and upload them to your wallet. Next, you have to create your own bot and send them into your friends. Basically, this can be explained, but it can be hard to understand because I actually had problems understanding this at first. So what you do, you need to have a community that can actually explain to you. So basically, you can go to the blended Telegram. You can actually search it on the Telegram Bennett, and it goes and gives you a lot of Telegram pages, and over there you can be able to meet people and ask them. Basically, if you have problems, you can use the translator because they're almost everyone there speaks English, Russian, I think some other foreign countries also. So basically, you can be, if you're lucky, you might be able to find someone that speaks language, and if not, you should also use the translator to help you. And also, you can download the application from Google Play Store. Now, one important point over here says eco-friendly money Bennett allows you to minimize the cost of electricity and issues new coins on the account. The maximum number of coins that can be mined in one section does not exceed 10,000 Bennett, and upon reaching 100,000 Bennett, the account stops mining until the balance decreases. Why is this? Remember I told you before today's live meeting that your account can actually increase and decrease, and it decreases because of this reason. When your account in your particular wallet, like one wallet, and your account gets to a maximum of 100,000 Bennett, if there's nothing done about it, it begins to decrease gradually. So what do you do when it happens? So I'll just give you an explanation of this table. Over here we have, okay, let me read first actually. The Bennett cryptocurrency implements the function of increasing the base rate of coin mining for miners who support the performance of a peer-to-peer network. For wallets whose balance are used to confirm transactions made on the network, the base rate of coin mining is 1% per day regardless of the balance. Such mining parameters are applied on the value for 20,000 blocks from the moment of generation of a valid block accepted by the network. At the same time, many acceleration coefficients from wallets affiliated with them are also applied to such wallets. Okay, now explain the table. This is also about it, but it's like the theory version of it. So this step is going to give you like partially the practical version, because the real practical is when you start with the software. Literally, you're reading. The basic speed of eco-friendly soft mining without a complicated coefficient. The percentage of mining your coins in 24 hours without a complicated coefficient. Over here we have 1%, 0.25%, and 0.5%. And the other part we have the amount of money, the amount of coins in the account. We have less than one coin from 1 to 10,000, from 10,000 to 100,000. So how does it work? It says that if you have less than 1 Bennett coin, you'll be mining at 1%. So as well goes, I remember that I told you that the more you have coins, the more they increase in mining rates. Now, if you have from 1 Bennett coin to 10,000 Bennett coins, you mine at 0.25. If you have from 10,000 Bennett coins to 100,000 Bennett coins, you mine at 0.5, which is pretty fast. But if you see over here, we have 100,000 as the maximum. There's no other option. So saying that this is the maximum, and whenever you get to this amount, it is very important you make an affiliated wallet so your account doesn't decrease in amount. And how do you make an affiliated wallet or affiliated account? You make the first wallet and you have coins in it. So you made the second wallet. The first Bennett coin you have to send into your second wallet should be from your first wallet. And you made the third wallet. The first coin you should send, that's the first Bennett coin you should send to your third wallet should be from your second wallet. And this goes on to your 10th. So it means 10 generations. Basically, you can actually make 20 generations and how much you should want. So 10 generations, sorry. 10 generations simply means your 9th wallet got the first Bennett coin from the 8th, your 10th got the first Bennett coin from the 9th, and it goes on like that. So to avoid decreasing of amount, let's say altogether you have an amount of 100,000 Bennett, which is the maximum before, but because you have affiliated wallets, you're safe. So 100,000 Bennett to a million Bennett, you'll be mining at 0.5 multiplied by 1.2, and the answer it gives you tells you how much you'll be mining at that time. And we have the maximum, which is over. It's a maximum. It's not maximum actually. It's like 1. It says over 100 million Bennett. So even if you have a million Bennett, you'll be mining at 2 multiplied by 0.5 percent, and whatever you get, you'll be mining at that percentage. That's basically advantageous. So now this table, I'll just read it. It's very simple maintaining the constant account balance in the range of 10,000 to 100,000 points. The issue was be 0.5% per day. To apply the acceleration factor 1.2, you will need to create a second block of 10 accounts sequentially, thus increasing the rate of issue of 10 accounts of the first block by 20%. This will just give you an example. Like if you have this amount and you miner this amount, and what happens in a month or day, how much would you have increased? So just talking about, like, if you have 85,000, if you have 85,000 Bennett in a day, you'll be added 425 Bennett coins, and that will be added to your coin. And in a month, you'll be having 12,750. If you have 86,000 in your account, that's Bennett, you'll be added 450 a day, and in a month, 12,900. So basically, that's like, it's just showing you how it works. Now, the Bennett roadmap of things that is happening. This is not totally accurate because right now there are a lot of changes. That's why it's important. This new file will be made, definitely. To date, the following task has been completed. The Bennett was launched. The blockchain was launched on 19th of December 2021, which was last year. And not just the general blockchain, but we're talking about the Bennett blockchain. So number 2, we started to responsibly implement the memorandum described in the document section of white paper. Number 3, our own wallet for Android devices has already been developed and published. Number 4, on July 7, 2022, the exchange trading of the Bennett cryptocurrency began on the exchange XT.com. Number 5, in the very near future, our wallet will appear in the App Store. Number 6, on July 5th, 2022, a grand event took place. The company Soldo Constant LTD has completed the purchase and merger with the company BMP Limited. And you can read on. The company BMP Limited is a pioneer in the field of software development, data processing, as well as other activities in the field of information technology. Now, speaking about the Bennett philosophy, Bennett is not only a cryptocurrency; it's also a philosophy, and not everyone likes it. A real cryptocurrency cannot have a declared value, so Bennett is worth nothing. The main advantage of our project is its absolute openness and transparency for users, which is confirmed by the history of its transactions. So there's always an history of transaction, which is in the Bennett software. Currently, you can always see the transactions you have made and times and if they're successful or not. So there's always a transparent medium for you as a user to be able to see and understand changes in the wallet. Each wallet owner is an issue. Each wallet owner is an issue. Respectively, the more people use it, the more reliable and durable the project is, which the concept of decentralization comes in. Currently, we're making every effort to make our project interesting in various countries of the world. We hope that our concept of seniority, which will later be used to upload events to Bennett Dash, will be of interest to many. Okay, moving on. In order to become an ambassador, okay, just go straight to bennett.cc/ambassadors. You can be able to register there. Okay. A point A says perhaps the most important plus of our Bennett Dash platform is that there's no censorship here. There's only the truth here. You will not be able to delete or retouch a photo or event. You will not be able to change the document that you upload, and that's fine to allow you to remain natural and sincere. Sincerity as magnetism and it's always felt by people. Sincere interest allows. Sincerity is always Sincerity is always rewarded. It's my words being said. Sincerity allows you to feel about full capacity. It allows you to show natural individuality and meet people close in spirit. Together we are always stronger. Join us and may the blessing of Constantine the Great come us. Now the words of the CEO says it seems that we've come up with something that is not close to the market. Simply put, something that is different from a lot of businesses worldwide. It's simply something that the world in general can actually benefit from. We have come up with, let's call it, for example, World Chronicle of Events, and this is a chronicle written by people who speak different languages, profess different religions, and live in different parts of the globe. And his name is Boris Bartolov. He is the founder and CEO of Bennett. Now, the lead manager is Igor Brishonov, and Dmitry Sokolov is the founder of Soldo Constant LTD, which we talked about. The contact information, this is the number. I want to be calling it, but just call it +44726053570. And info at Bennett.cc is the place you can get information about Bennett. Bennett.cc is basically the website, the head page. Now the last page is the conclusion or the benediction. Nothing can stop us anymore. You can read it. Nothing can stop us anymore because the brand is not important. The brand is not important, words are not important, components are not important, only one thing is important. Unification. The more of us, the stronger we are, and we are together. And the blessing of Constantine is with us. Thank you. So that brings us to the end of the live meeting for today. So we'll be ending this very soon. So if you have any questions or contributions or something you want to say, this will be the best time to say. So if you have no questions or contributions, I'll be saying good night to everyone. Have a safe day, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe.